Today we're going to multiply with the stamp game. Our first operation is going to be 3,211. So let's write that down. 3,211. And we're going to multiply this. So that means we're going to have this quantity multiplied by 2 times. We're going to put in our, and we're going to find out what that equals. So we put our line here for the equals. So now let's build our quantity. Our first we start units, tens, hundreds, and thousands. So we're going to start with 3,000, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 200s, 100, 200, 110, 1 unit. Now we need to have this same quantity 2 times. So I'm going to leave a small space. You can use a pencil, a strip of paper, a piece of string, or just leave an empty spot there until we can build our next amount, 3,000. And we're going to do exactly the same quantity 1 more time so that we have it a total of 2 times. The next quantity is 200s, 110, and 1 unit. Now here we have our quantity 1 time, we have our quantity 2 times. Now we're going to find out what we get when we put them together. So now we need to put it together. We get rid of our division, our separation, and then we're going to start bringing our quantities together, and we're going to do it first, and then we're going to count what we get when we put these quantities together. We are certainly getting a larger amount. So let's start by counting the units. With multiplication, we start with the units. Let's count how many we have. 1 unit, 2 units. So I can go ahead and write that down, that when I have 1 unit and I have it 2 times, I will get 2 units. 1 times 2 equals 2. Now we're going to count the tens. I had 110 2 times. So 110 1 time, 110 2 times. We have 2 tens. One times 2 equals 2. Now we're going to count the hundreds. We had 200s 2 times. And we got 100, 200, 300, 400s. So 2 times 2 equals 4. 200s times 2 equals 400s. And now we're going to count the thousands. We had 3,000s 2 times. 1,000, 2,000s, 3,000s, 4,000s, 5,000s, 6,000s. And this is the answer that we get. If we have 3,211 2 times, so 3,211 times 2 equals 6,422. We're going to clear our board, put away all of our quantities so that we can have our clear board for the next problem. Our next problem is going to be, so our next multiplication is going to be 1,232. And we're going to have that quantity 3 times. Okay. So when we're reading this out loud, we're going to go 1,232 times 3 equals And we are going to try to find that out. So we're going to go back to our stamp game, and we're going to build this first quantity. 1,000. These are the hundreds, and we need 2. 100, 200. How many tens do we need? 3. 1,000. Oh, I'm sorry, 110, 2 tens, 3 tens. And how many units do we need? We need 2 units. 1 unit, 2 units. Now, we have this quantity 1 time right now. We need it 2 more times. So I'm going to make a separation here, once again with a pencil, with a piece of string, leaving a little bit of a space. We just want to make sure that we don't mix them together so that we can confirm that we have the same amount. We're going to build the same amount, 1,000, 200, 3 tens, 2 units. And one last time, we're going to build the same quantity because we need it 3 different times. 1,000, 200s, 3 tens, and 2 units. Now we're going to start putting them together. Here we have our quantity, 1,232 times 3. So we have the same quantity 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. We're now going to put them together. So we get rid of our separations, of our little spacers, and we're going to push the tiles, the stamps, all together, and then we're going to count them to find out how much we get when we've put these 3 same quantities together to get a larger amount. That's what multiplication is about. So let's go ahead and push them up all together, and then we're going to find out what we get. And the reason we push them up all together is so that we remember that we're counting the whole group. And it looks more organized. Okay, there. We've pushed our quantities together. Now let's find out what we get. Let's start with the units. It's multiplication. 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units, 4 units, 5 units, 6 units. So when I have 2 units, 3 times I get 6 units. 2 times 3 equals 6. Now we're going to count the tens. And I had 3 tens 3 times. Now I have 1 10, 2 tens, 3 tens, 4 tens, 5 tens, 6 tens, 7 tens, 8 tens, 9 tens. That's my answer. When I have 3 tens 3 times, I get 9 tens. Now I'm going to count the hundreds. I had 2 hundreds and I had them 3 times. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. That's what I get. I got 200s 3 times. It gives me 600s. And for the thousands, I had 1,000 3 times. So I have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. When I have 1,000 times 3, I get 3,000. And that's how we do multiplication. We started out with 1,232 times 3 equals 3,696. I hope you can check your work and see if you got the same answer.